What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to the Daily HiFi Podcast. It is 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time on a Monday, so you know we're going to have a good time. With me as always, my name's Chana. With me as always, we have Mike and Joe. And today we've got Aaron back. What is going on, fellas?
Hello. What's happening, man? Good to see you guys.
What's up?
Thanks for having me on again today, fellas.
Oh, yeah.
You had to pay us this time, so we're okay with that.
Yeah, I'm pretty much broke now. I'm thinking about to send waters to you guys from now on.
We're like drug dealers over here.
Right.
First hit is free.
That's
Yeah.
hilarious.
Yep, that's right.
Always good to have Aaron on the show with us.
And if you guys haven't been to Aaron's channel, make sure you subscribe. It's Aaron's Audio Corner. I'll put a link in a second.
Yeah. So who's gonna take care of the chat stuff coming up? Because there's a lot coming in. So whoever wants to take that, Michael,
Yeah,
Shauna,
I'll do it today.
you got it.
How about that?
All right. What's up, Croson? I see you, Rick. I see Dark Knight, Easy, HT Tech, BL Swagger, Ripe Wave, Hassan, SI, that Home Theater Dad. That's a new one. What's up, Tristan?
That'll throw you off there. That's Tristan Jones, guys. So.
Tristan Jones.
Oh, really?
Chris
Tristan,
Wyndham.
yeah, Tristan told
Dad.
Yeah, he said
A
he
deer.
said he's wanting to get some content out there, but he's hesitant, like everybody is when they first, begin to kind of put themselves out there on the channel. And I just told him, I said, look, you just gotta do what Sean says, punch fear in the face, hit record, and just go for it, man.
Oh, yeah.
So looking forward
As
to
a
that.
relative newbie, I can attest to that. You just got to put one out there and just keep putting them out there,
Yeah.
and don't go back and watch any of your old ones.
Yeah, exactly, because they suck
Even
really
in 6
bad.
months, I'm like, oh my god. Yeah.
Very cool, man. We got folks from Germany. So look here. Good to have you guys, man.
Wow.
Always love seeing people like literally all the way around the world, man. It's 1 o'clock in the morning, so appreciate you hanging out with us.
Oh, yeah. So, real quick, after the show, what's after the show?
After party.
That's right.
After the party is the hotel lobby.
That's right. And so we do that after every show. You have to be a patron to participate. So let me put a link up here. Boom. After show. So you go here to patreon.com/Daily HiFi, and we're on there for about 30 minutes. So this show is an hour. We'd go on for another half hour every single Monday for our patrons, and you can hang out with Aaron. So Aaron pays to be on here, and then you pay to be with Aaron.
That's right.
I'm just kidding. He doesn't pay.
Trying to think of how this
All
works.
kinds.
Do I
Yeah.
like this math? I'm not sure.
What's up?
He's like,
What's
"Man,
up,
we're
Matt?
losing."
Matt Buckmaster, what's going on? He says he's not here. I see you, bro. I see you. Chris Wyndham, what's up? Edward, Bruce Carter. Oh, yeah.
Michael, whenever you're ready, we have to shout out our patrons too. So
Right.
got to make sure to do that as well.
Give me
Yeah.
about 30 seconds. I had
Yeah,
to pop
whenever
in
you're
here-
ready.
I had to pop in here a few minutes late. I was
Well, real fast, I'm going to mention there's a guy named Buckmaster, and I don't know if you guys know, but he is associated directly to Dirac. Dirac.
yeah.
Mhm.
Dirac.
Yeah. So not really, actually. It was just a really bad, corny joke for Dirac versus Buck. You get it? Because they're deers.
Wow.
Where's
That-
the womp
wow.
womp?
Yeah, for real.
Well, it's nice talking to you guys. I'll talk to you later. Peace.
That was multiple levels above me right now.
Yeah, no. As I was saying, I was like, this is not going to go the way I wanted it to go. But I'm already here.
It's one of them things that, it sounds good in your head and then it comes out your mouth. I was like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not working.
I appreciate the effort though. I
Right.
appreciate
Look at the A
that.
for effort.
Right.
I'll just try to buy some time for Michael. That's it.
Survey says
there you
false.
go.
That's like how your videos go. Your first few videos, just like that.
That's just your
Yeah,
first
you
few
just throw it
jokes
out
You
on
know
the
what I
air.
mean? You just got to keep doing it, and one'll hit. It'll
Yeah.
hit.
Every once in a while, you might get something.
You got it. Well, we want to give a big thanks to BL Swagger, Chris, Derek, Don, Hassan, Ike, J. Anthony, James, John, Juan, Croson, Martin, Reginald again, and then Robert and Russ, man. Appreciate you guys supporting us through the Daily HiFi Patreon. If you want to become a Daily HiFi patron, you can go to patreon.com/Daily HiFi. Sign up at the end of the show. We'll do a sweet after party for about 30 minutes. Do that every week. Just hang out, answer your questions one-on-one. It's a video chat, so you get to kind of hang out with us in person instead of just
Well,
typing.
it's not really one-on-one. I mean, there's
It's 1 on 30.
Whoa.
One-on-one, that's your separate thing, Michael. You got a whole. That's a
you know what I
yeah.
mean, though.
Wow.
It's like, well, what I mean is like
Family
you
friendly.
actually just get, just
Family
to hang out
friendly.
with just us. You know what I'm saying? That's what I meant by that.
We get you,
Who's running pink
By the
noise right
world.
now?
Buckmaster, huh?
I hear pink noise.
Oh,
There you go.
There you go.
that's
Joe.
me. Sorry, there's a lot of noise around here.
We
Actually,
got some people have heard already. Look at there.
Sir Clipple.
Sir Clipple. So fill us in, Aaron. What's
All right.
going on,
Is
man?
that-
I hear
so
you
we're
got
gonna
this.
talk about? Is that what's up?
I hear you got
Yeah.
this fancy machine you're
Let
buying.
me intro you. Let me intro you so you don't. It doesn't feel like you're pitching straight up, right?
All right.
Because
go
I
for it.
invited you. Just to be
Yes.
clear, I invited him. So I'm like, you know what? Why don't you go on the Daily HiFi, because I know you got your whole thing. You're taking what is it? How do you want to say that? You're accepting
Donations,
support,
I guess.
donations, whatever. It's
Yeah.
like you're gonna do it no matter what.
Yeah,
And
I've
I
already
think
done
that you've already done it, right?
He's bit the bullet.
So it's this crazy Clipple machine thing, robot.
Yeah.
I don't know what you want to call it, but
It is a robot.
it's very expensive, and you went ahead and did it for these folks, right? So you can have better data
For everybody out
and
there in YouTube land.
for everybody here, me too, me included. And
Yes.
so I think that's awesome. And so yeah, let's leave a link to that. Where do we find that?
Let me see the donation one. I can
Yeah.
pull it up.
You're bad.
Pop a link
Croson.
in the private area, and then I'll post it. And then why don't you go ahead and tell us what it's all about? What's Shauna laughing at over here?
All right.
Croissant.
Everybody's making. Y'all just love to bust me, man. Every time I say something, it's like,
Didn't know Michael was into those kind of parties. 1 on 30.
yeah. I mean, look at this. I mean, Dark Knight's hitting me
You
up.
only get that when you go to jail.
Yeah. Let's see how you. That's nothing but love I feel on the other side here.
Love might be the wrong word to use there.
Oh, what kind of pastor is this?
I'm saying, man,
love.
that's some craziness going on. How
Dark
come
Knight,
it
that was
always?
a good one.
How come it always like goes south so quick on the Daily
Another
HiFi show?
phrase
man?
that I probably wouldn't have used.
We're
right
only
then.
8 in, and it's
I know it, man. You hadn't even dropped the F bomb yet, and we're like already hitting triple X. What the heck, man?
Oh man, this is
Mercy.
weird.
All
that's
right.
you know that's funny. I was editing some categories on the movies in my Zapiti, right? And so I'm just going through all the little icons, and then at the very bottom there's this triple X icon. I was just like, whoa, I guess you gotta please everyone.
That's funny. Yeah, Matt says he loves to watch me squirm here. So,
That guy bucks.
oh mercy.
That guy, he definitely bucks.
He bucks for sure.
Oh gosh. That's
All right, so go ahead, Aaron. You got the spotlight.
All right.
Thanks for being on. Why don't you tell us about your whole Clipple thing? What are you doing?
So I don't know how many people know because I've talked about it before here, but it's been a month or so, maybe 2. Anyway, so this thing that I ordered is a machine, and it will measure a speaker anechoically in anywhere from a couple hours to maybe 3 hours or something like that. And it allows me to provide my watchers and viewers and all that some high accuracy anechoic data, completely unbiased because it's all done by this machine. And anyway, so I make that part of my reviews, and I review speakers subjectively, but then I also provide you with the actual data to go along with it, so you can see that, yeah, if I said this, then maybe this is where it correlates, or I said that this shows up in the data, but I'm not really hearing it, or the other way around, where the data shows something, but maybe I guess another good way to put it is it helps me. I always say this, it helps hold me accountable too. Because everybody has their own biases, whether we like to acknowledge them or not. So there may be a particular brand that I get into review and I'm all geeked out about it. And maybe there's an issue with it that I just don't key into because, my mind is set on something else. The data will show me, and it will allow me to go back and review it from that aspect as well. So I will subjectively listen to it first, then I'll measure it. I'll look at the data, and then I'll say, oh, okay, let me see if I can hear that. Then I'll go back and listen to it for that. So it kind of gives me a good way to round out my reviews with some subjective opinion, but there's some also objective data to back that up. But the Clipple machine is the near field scanner, and it will measure a speaker, spin it around at 360 degrees and captures a sound field, and then extrapolates that out to as far out as you need to. And it just helps quantify the performance of a speaker, I guess is the best way to put it.
So this is like treat
that's
yourself to a whole new level, though.
This is treat yourself. Yes.
Yeah, this is a big old
So
thing.
have
man.
you
Check this out.
have you actually just videotaped it doing that to a speaker?
Well,
that'd be
I
a
haven't-
cool video.
Yeah, if you give me a second, I'll mute it so you guys don't hear me type.
So right now I have your PayPal up, and so you've raised
That's awesome.
a little bit over your goal. So that's awesome. I would say just keep going because this is not even close to the cost of this thing.
Yeah.
What is this thing, like close to 100 G's?
If you get what I
100
get,
Gs.
the price list is it's like 98k euro for the thing that I got, the whole package, which you can get add-on stuff too. And maybe at some point I'd like to do that, but it's not happening anytime soon.
So this is not just for you. You don't get a kick out of it just
No,
for you.
no.
Like, hey, this is all me. I could have got that brand new sports car, but instead I'm gonna get this Clipple. It wasn't like that.
Right. There's no ego involved here. It's just I enjoy measuring speakers and playing with speakers and I've been for the past year or so been busting my butt measuring speakers manually. I mean, it's like days worth of testing and it's just it kills me. And working a full-time job, there's just no way. So for me to increase throughput and to get more accuracy, I purchased this thing. So, or but yeah, I got a video. I can do a screen share and maybe just take a second to do it just so you can kind of see what it's doing in maybe real time.
For sure. So 100 G. So basically, you're the craziest like engineering nerd in the world. One of them.
I'm
like
one of them.
top 5 or something.
I'm probably one of them. I might be the only person that really cares this much about this stuff, but it's fun, and I feel like there's kind of a hole in the community as far as reviews go. Amir does a great job with his written reviews, but I kind of want to do the YouTube space where I test like car audio stuff, home audio stuff, a little bit of everything, and this allows me to really take it to the next level. So, hopefully you guys cannot hear the music, but let me see. So this is the microphone going around the speaker on the stand. And obviously it's sped up because it takes a lot longer than this to go around it. But it spins around the speaker and it collects all sorts of data. And then through some complex math, it will extract that data and put it into a form that you can actually understand, I guess, for a lack of better words. Provide you with frequency response data and all sorts of other information. Yeah, see.
All right. I think your audio is getting a little bit choppy when you're playing the video.
Yeah, probably because it's doing both.
What about now?
Yeah, you're good.
Perfect.
So you could have paid me to just like I would have just walked around slowly. Yeah. You know what I mean? I would have walked around really slowly and precise.
And I'll be like,
I haven't gotten it yet, so you're more than welcome. Yeah, I can just send it back. I'll just send it back. Yeah.
Well, my big question is, where are you going to put it?
In my garage. It's actually so it looks like it's a lot larger than it is, but it will fit in my garage. That's what she said. But I'm going to put it in the garage. Sorry, I can't help myself. Yeah. And the only thing about my garage is that the ceiling height is 10 feet, so there's only going to be like there's a practical limit to how tall a speaker I can actually measure in my garage, but it should be allowed to be able to do typical floor standing speakers. Just very, very large one's going to be an issue.
Yeah.
But maybe one of these days I'll move into a place with a much larger garage and do the big
buildings.
Question.
Since you're measuring inside a garage, you said it's kind of like an anechoic chamber.
Anechoic, right.
Yeah, but how does it not get reflections from like your walls and things and your ceiling and your floor?
Right. So the name being near field scanner, it means that the microphone is really, really close to the speaker under test.
Correct.
And so it will measure the speaker and a whole bunch of different points in space really close to the speaker. And then, like I said, using the math, it will back that out to far field response. So, and it's actually been proven to work. They wouldn't put something like this out if it didn't work. But you can find documents that show the results from this laid over an anechoic chamber. And the good thing about this is it's actually more accurate on the low frequency because anechoic chambers have their own issues with response in the low frequencies.
Got a question here from that home theater dad. How'd you get wife approval for that?
I know how. He's like, I'm going to buy it and I'm going to put it in the garage so you don't have to see it. So it's out of sight, out of mind, right? She'll never see it.
yeah, that's it. Actually, man, she's on board. I mean, honestly, it's really surprising how cool she's been because I figured, she would be like, all right, that's no, you're crazy. You're
out of your mind. Yeah. Right.
Yeah, you're nuts. But she
He's
knows
like-
it's my passion. So
He's like, the other machine I have out there, I'm gonna replace that one, except I'd have to spend less time so I can be
with you,
spending time
that's what you should
more time
tell
with the
her,
family.
That's
exactly.
While it's
I
doing its thing.
went from days to a few hours, and now it'll pump out some measurements. So.
And actually,
And you don't have to be
set
there.
it up
That's the
and
best
you
part.
just leave.
That's
Set
honestly
it and
that,
forget it. Ron Popeil
Exactly,
style,
man.
right?
Yeah, exactly. Set it up and go inside and eat or do other things. Yeah.
Nice.
So
Pretty
how do you
nice, man.
feel about this support you're getting? You've surpassed your goal.
Oh,
so
absolutely.
That's pretty awesome.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. And honestly, man, I didn't think it would be. I was thinking like 800 to 1,000. Told my wife if I got 1,000, I'd be surprised. So,
Yeah.
I mean, it's just great. I mean, it helps me not only just kind of help offset the cost because the shipping alone was $1,850.
Yeah.
So, and that wasn't included in the price, but
Right.
it helps me offset that. And then I've got to clear out the garage and get it ready. And once I do that, I'll probably have to get a new mic that will stay permanently in this thing. So I won't have to keep moving my mic from the stand to the outside when I go to measure subwoofers and all that stuff. No, you don't have to treat the garage. Yeah.
And what kind of mic would that be, Aaron? So
Earthworks M23 probably.
there you go.
Yeah.
Everybody loves to shout out their Earthworks microphones, huh?
Or an M50.
That's like the really, really budget
reason.
level one, right?
Yeah, no, it's the crappiest one you can get. It's actually like 5 steps lower than the mini DSP U Mic 1. Yeah.
5 steps. Not,
And I'm just
not
kidding.
right
And
below.
And two things, I'm just kidding. And number two is I actually really like the U mic, so I'm not even cracking on that.
So
I use
so
that
what does
thing
that
all the time.
mic go to? 5 hertz or something crazy?
The I think the calibration file is 5 to 23 kilohertz, 5 hertz to 23 kilohertz. I think that's why what the 23 denotes in the model number, and then like they have the M30 and then the
Gotcha.
M50.
That's
Yeah.
awesome,
Oh,
man.
50. So that one could go up to 50.
I
50
think
kilohertz.
that's what it is. Honestly, I was like, the 23 is $499, and I was like, that's pushing it. So that's
and
where I
if you
stopped.
don't think that you can hear that kind of like that, like above that, right? Like
Yeah.
30, 20,000 to 50,000, you can. You just need like speakers that are like 100,000 and cables that are like 250,000.
That's
Once
right.
once you got
absolutely.
that,
Well, and you
all
need
good.
cable risers.
You need a more resolving
Right.
system.
Yeah.
Is
Revealing,
is the
revealing,
word.
yeah.
Well, it's got to have the high res sticker on there. It's got to say, and it's got to
gotta
say,
say
like,
HD
mastered by
audio.
iTunes. Yeah, it's got to say, and yeah, HD. It's got to say DSD 5.6
mercy.
megahertz.
I feel
Gotta
bad
have
for
all
anybody who's just tuning in who hasn't heard us before. Knows that someone who doesn't know that we're joking around. Be like,
Yeah.
do you hear these guys? Do you
guys-
hear these guys?
They're stupid.
They said you can hear it in your skin.
Yeah.
You can't hear it with your ears, but you can feel it on your skin.
No, man, you can hear the harmonics. On it. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
ultrasonics, not infrasonics. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, crazy. So that's awesome, man. I think that's awesome what you're trying to do. And you messaged me
cool.
that before, and you're like, hey, does this sound like I'm asking for too much? I'm like, no, bro, ask.
Yeah.
It's not like you're asking for too much ever. You know what I mean? It's not like, you don't ask for very much. So this one time when you're doing this, I think it's the right time, and
Right.
definitely I think it's worthy of people's support if you're into this hobby. Yeah, for sure. What else you gonna spend your money on, right?
I mean,
This will help you
that's
save
part of the
money.
limit.
He'll tell you if something sucks.
Yeah, that's true. I will.
the
tell you
data
if
will.
something sucks. Yeah.
The data will, at least. The data for sure will tell you if something sucks. He'll tell you if something looks pretty good.
Yeah.
And that has some indication of whether you might like something. I think better than what we have available right now, right?
I agree. Yeah, I agree. I mean, it doesn't necessarily tell you that you cannot buy this, but it helps you, separate the wheat from the chaff. So, get rid of the crappy crap and throw it out. Leave
Or
stuff,
or at
figure
least
it
it
out.
tells you what's what, right?
yeah.
Yeah. Well, and that's the other part of it too, is as I like doing it because, if I review a speaker and it has this profile and people say, if I say, I think it is terrible and somebody else says, I really like it. Well, you point to the data and say, this is probably why you like it then, because it's got this curve response to it. It's got a heightened profile and the high frequency response or bass boost or whatever, any of those kind of things.
I was about to say it's got the idiot curve. Like, oh, you're right there. That's where you are.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, man.
It's got a smiley face curve. That's all you need.
And I don't think people don't mind too, right? When you tell them it's because it does this and that. I don't think they're like
Right.
offended. They're like, oh, okay, well,
At least there's
I still like
yeah,
it.
They have a reason for it. or
Yeah.
At
Yeah,
least
that's
you
true.
know. Right.
I think it's all in the delivery. Like I've kind of learned that this is all, as we said before, it's all a learning process. I started the YouTube stuff. I think it was June was the first video I posted. And, sometimes I look at some of those other reviews and I think, man, I probably maybe could have worded things a little bit differently. I don't want to come off as saying, never buy this speaker, but I think the purpose is explained. This is what it's doing. This is what it sounds like. If you like the sound, this is what you should probably look at. Ultimately, that's where we need to be with it.
Yeah, agree. Yeah. I mean, you're coming from an engineering science base, right? That's what you're looking at. But in my opinion, it's also combining that with the science of psychology and humans, because we're dealing with other people on the other end of this camera, right?
Right. Yeah, exactly.
So trying to combine those two.
I agree. And I think that kind of goes back to what I said also about the accountability is, if I get a speaker in that I'm already expecting it's going to be good, then maybe I'm going to let some things slide, even though I don't intentionally do it. I think we're all susceptible to doing that,
Yeah. Man.
And people also buy speakers for other reasons than sound. I mean, people buy speakers because they look nice,
Absolutely. It's a big part of it.
Yeah. So how many, like Croson is saying here, how many speaker companies are like, oh crap, this guy went out and did some shit.
They just won't send any
speakers. I don't know, man. I don't know. Though I will say the ones that I have already felt were probably doing a really good job making stuff have been the ones that have been willing to send me things like JBL, Dutch and Kef. Like, yeah, whatever, we'll loan you that out. And I'm like, okay, I'm expecting problems, and I'm expecting what I'm probably going to wind up running into is having to either loan or get loan from viewers or pay for speakers myself and just, take a hit on some of these things. But
that bad, huh?
We'll figure it out. I don't know, man. I guess we'll just
that headphone guy was just getting people to send them headphones for to review. So that's a possibility. Somebody will send you some speakers.
Yeah, just loan it. I'm not asking to keep anything. I don't even have the space to put anything anymore. So, but yeah, I mean, so far most people have been pretty willing to send me stuff. It's just I'm expecting that I'm going to run into some resistance. There's been a couple of very, very high end manufacturers that I have emailed directly and asked, "Would you be willing to send me something alone?" And I don't hear a word back. And I don't know if that's because I got sent straight to their spam filter, or if they thought this guy's a goon, or if they just don't have any interest in having stuff tested. Period. I don't know.
Oh, so you emailed Bowers and Wilkins, huh?
I emailed. Actually,
it's an inside joke. They never reply to anything that we send them.
Oh, okay.
And unfortunately, there's just companies out there, and the hardest thing I think as a content creator when you reach out to a brand is finding the person that, the right person. Sometimes you're reaching out on Facebook and they're just the marketing person, but they're not really the person that's going to be the PR that's, dealing with that.
And
I've learned
that as well. Mm-hmm. The funny one about JBL is I actually emailed or messaged, no, I won't be getting in your boat. I actually emailed or messaged Floyd Toole on AVS forum, and around the way he got me introduced to somebody at JBL. So. Yeah. And then somebody else I know was already reviewing Kef stuff, and I said, "Would you mind sharing with me the contact?" So he gave me the contact, and but yeah, it's interesting. I was like, they have PR firms for this? Like, I didn't know that was a thing. I thought I could just email them directly and say, "Hey, who's your dude in marketing?"
I mean, sometimes that works.
Some do, some don't.
Yeah.
It all depends on the company. I mean, Parasound doesn't do any marketing at all.
Well,
it's all
just
word
real
of mouth.
small though. I mean, it's less than 20 employees, maybe.
Yeah,
that's a good example. I asked you guys about it, and y'all told me who to contact. And then, the next day, I had a reply back. Hey, we'll be happy to see. What would you like to review? So, that's been pretty cool. It's having connections too. So I appreciate you guys.
I think the biggest thing too is that if they see the the value that you provide, and the Clipple is going to add a huge value. Right. Why you want to blow my face up, man?
Yeah, just trying to keep it entertaining, right? I'm talking
more
over
dynamic.
here. I'm talking.
I know it.
Trying to
definitely.
eating.
It's just a different. It's something that nobody else is doing right now in the space. For the most part, especially on YouTube.
Right.
And so I think that's going to bring a different angle and a different perspective.
For sure.
And so hopefully companies will be all excited about that.
Yeah.
Chana sleeping over here,
picking his nose.
No more popcorn.
Yeah.
No, I'm out, man. Shit.
You know who for sure is gonna send you stuff, right? Is the companies who have one of those. They're like, oh, well, we know how this measures. Here you go. Right. If you want to make a video,
go ahead.
Write it up too.
Yeah, go ahead.
You know what I don't expect though? I don't expect a lot of people to tell you that you're doing it wrong because they have no idea what you're doing.
Yeah, that's so funny.
They're like,
it's like, oh, you should have measured that over here. You should have measured that outside.
Oh God,
why did you measure it that way?
Right.
I'm like, if you guys understood what you were talking about,
did it, asshole. Like that's it. It's done.
Well, hey, and seriously, part of the reason for me doing that is so I could. So if I don't run into the issue where somebody says, "Hey, you made our name look bad, so we're going to sue you. I'm like, all right, go ahead and have fun dealing with the PhDs who invented this thing. Hope your lawyers are smarter than these guys.
Right.
Yeah. You know what would be cool is like in every review, you just kind of throw in some fake information, right? With like a little star, that just says like, I'm just joking. You know, in the footnotes. Not real. But just say something like random, you know, something ridiculous in each one, just to keep people on their toes. Like, don't, you know, just look at the data, you interpret it.
Right.
So when does it come in?
So I totally misread the shipping info. I actually thought it was in Memphis last Friday, but hadn't been shipped last Friday. But I think it's in Memphis today now.
Okay.
I just got
like in the next week, maybe.
I'm hoping this week, maybe. Yeah. I don't know about like customs brokerage and all that stuff because I reached out to somebody to help me with that, but I don't know. It's coming through like it's not typical UPS, FedEx, or anything. It's a different firm, a different shipping company, not even DHL.
Oh, it's probably like freight or something.
Yeah,
it's like air freight. And the name of the company, it's like a German company, and I can't remember. There's something Schenker. I'm a butcher this thing. Yeah, Schenker, not Schenker. Like a shiv. Prison.
Oh mercy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you need some stuff to practice on, I got a pair of Def Tech bookshelves.
Okay. I thought you were going to say you. I was like, yeah, just come on over and stand up on the stand, and I'll spin it around you, and we'll have fun.
I make way too much noise.
Come on, man.
Can you do this? Once you get it, is there any way to do like a fast test? Like instead of 2 hours, just like a quick, like, I don't know, like 2 minutes.
You can set it up to different accuracy rates and stuff. So yeah.
Can you do yourself? Just be like, or like pink noise. I want to see what's your sound power of Aaron Hardison.
I'll try to figure that out. I'll talk to the folks at Clipple about that and see what they have to say.
Yeah.
Good luck
see if the sound's coming from your chest.
Yeah. Good luck sitting on that little platform up there.
Oh, I know it. It was painful. Yeah. I have to widen that sucker out. Are you saying I got a big butt?
You just got to tighten the butt cheeks, man, to get you to stay on there. The balance, man. Because if you fall over on it, dude, your 100 G's are gone. That would not be good.
That's Buckmaster.
Oh man. Here's a good question for you, Aaron, from Juan. He says,
20 hertz.
Aaron, thoughts on the KEF R3 thus far? Saw your unboxing video. How do you like this?
Yeah. I like them, but I will say that upstairs in my theater room, I think they deserve a better environment. And what I mean by that is I feel like my theater room may be actually too dead for those speakers.
Okay.
Yeah, it's interesting. So I haven't brought them back downstairs yet because I'm waiting until I can get,
on the
taken care of. Yeah. But yeah, I need to bring them downstairs and listen to them and all that stuff first before I try to make any comments about the subjectivity sounds. Well, we'll see. Yeah,
cool.
They're pretty neat though, man. And I paired them up with the SVS. Is it the SB 2000? I think I got in for review, which is going to be until it warms up. But that little combo makes a sweet little setup.
Nice.
Yeah.
Chris, thanks so much for the super chat, buddy. Certainly appreciate your support.
So much. What do you mean by several pairs available to test? Do you have several pairs that you can send them? Is that what you're saying?
Uh-oh.
Let us know.
What do we got? Vandersteins? That's what I really want to test. They won't reply to me.
Yeah.
I got the hookup over there.
Do you?
Yeah, I'll take care of you. Afterwards, give me a list. Give me a wish list.
Speaker
Afterwards.
wish list.
Yeah, and then we'll connect up whoever we can connect.
And then you're gonna get a $2,000 pair of bookshelves, and then you're gonna go to Amazon and buy the cheapest ones you can find, and you'll be like, oh my god, they measure the same.
Yep. I'm gonna do a shootout, and I'm gonna be like, whichever ones are on Amazon are the most expensive are the ones I'm going to recommend, so I can sell out and do affiliate linking.
How does a chart measure?
I am just kidding. But I do affiliate linking. I actually told somebody today, I was like, yeah, I do affiliate linking. I will even tell you this speaker sucks, but if you still really want to buy it, please use my affiliate link.
Yeah.
I like what you say too in your videos. You're like, I have an affiliate link, but if you don't want to use it, just Google it. Like, just don't click on the link and Google it yourself. I don't care.
Yeah. I mean, it helps, but some people are like, I'm not going to use that affiliate link. My wife is actually pretty funny. There was something we were searching one time, and I went to click on something. She's like, don't use that link. That gets the money. And I was like, all right. Like, it's not really, doesn't bother me. I'm a bot anyway, but I thought that was pretty funny.
Yeah.
What else you guys got going on, Chana and Michael? You got any new reviews coming in? Anything new in the mail? What's up?
I got a big old project we're going to be working on Saturday, so I'm going to make several videos I mentioned it. I
Oh,
think
the
in
backyard
last one.
barbecue. That's
Yeah,
right.
dude. So I just posted a picture of all the boxes. Man, there's a ton of speakers. There's 8 speakers we're going to be mounting to the wall in my backyard living area. There's 4 rock speakers, 2 burial subwoofers that are 12-inch, and then 3 amplifiers and a streamer. So it's going to be a pretty big project. I borrowed a hammer drill today from my neighbor. It's got a daggum drill bit. And
Oh, like the concrete one?
yeah, dude, it's like 18 inches, man. It's huge. It's going to be about 1 inch thick. So we got to get...
Damn. Mike, you're coming out with all kinds of craziness today.
Nah,
First
that's
it's
you,
the
buddy.
1 on 30, then it's the clench the butt cheeks, daggum 18 inches.
Shauna, man.
Oh, gosh. Yeah, I'm about to turn like beet red right now.
No, you're there, bro. You're there, bro.
Dang. It's messed up, man. So, but anyway, so I'm excited about it. I think it's going to be really cool. Be a lot of fun. Got a few friends that are helping me out that are kind of handy in that area. I mean, I build websites and stuff and edit videos. I don't do a whole lot of drilling through walls. So it's like, all right, I'm going to let some dudes that are used to doing that. I'll be butchered it up pretty bad. So, but I'm going to make several videos. I'm going to do one, of course, just talking about the overall plan. Then I'll do kind of like an install video. And one thing I'll share I'll just wait till that. Just check out my channel,
All right,
subscribe, and all that stuff. So it's going to be cool. I think it's going to be really interesting. So
You got some
Chana,
good
what you
weather
got?
down there to do that too.
that's the next big thing. So what you got going on, Chana?
My 2012 laptop just died over the weekend, so I'm trying to migrate all the data that I had over there to some external drives, and then I just ordered a new laptop, and then working on the Zapiti video. And that was like part of the thing. Like I had footage from the Zapiti video on that laptop that died, so I had to like open it up and shuck the hard drives and all that kind of stuff. Luckily I found the tools to do so, because I'd have to order some. I had a toolkit, because it's like a 00 screwdriver and then a Torque 6 situation. But yeah. What else? Oh, somebody was asking about Chad, how important is matching Atmos speakers to the rest of your system? I don't upstairs. I wouldn't know. Like I have, the SVS prime elevation speakers like that Joe has in the background there, along with the Martin Logan setup. I also had those SVS up there with the full clip setup. I also had the SVS up there with an SVS setup. I couldn't really tell the difference having those there, but in this room, I'll be setting up a 7.3.4, and those will all be the same speakers. So
Don't get crappy ones though. There are some things that you can hear up there, like especially when stuff is upmixed, right? Those speakers, there's sound coming out of them, right? So if you get a crappy speaker, it's possible that it could kind of degrade the sound, right? It could add stuff that you don't want.
Definitely,
right?
Definitely. I've seen some like cheapo ones for like $100. Like you don't want those.
Yeah, it could sound like I had some that sounded kind of like boxy, and so I'd notice when when I'd have them on, it'd add that sound to the rest of the good sound.
Yeah.
So I think I'm reviewing these right now. I think these are pretty good, as far as just doing what they need to do, right? Don't color the sound, like just do what you do. Don't make it sound worse, right? That's kind of what you want. As far as matching though, you don't have to match them the same way you do like left, center, and right. Those should be matched, tonally matched. But up above, I think it might be better. I haven't, Chana, you have the experiment that you're doing with the 11 speakers or something.
Yeah. So once I get that up and running, I'll get a better idea of it. I would imagine having a cohesive full 3D bubble would sound cool. And be good. Are you going to notice like that much of a difference is the big question. But I would definitely recommend getting any kind of like bookshelf speaker up there. Some of the, if you're doing like a height channel or if you're not cutting out holes in the ceilings. I mean, the SVS prime elevation speakers, they're basically a bookshelf with a angled baffle. Like you can see right behind Joe, that white one there.
OSD, Simon over there is the one who sent you those speakers, right, Chana? So his whole talk at the Hi-Fi Summit was basically that, in the recording studio, they're using all the same speakers, right? Left, everything, it's all the same speakers. So he's suggesting that maybe you should try to have all the same speaker if possible.
If possible, yeah.
I don't know. I don't know if that's going to sound that much different, but who knows?
Yeah, I can't wait to figure that out. So that's what I got going on. Other things here, I got a headphone versus headphone, like gaming headset review. Oh, I got a Wi-Fi 5 versus Wi-Fi 6 review coming up. But yes, who is this? That home theater dad. This is a great one. Shauna spent $18K on DJ gear, $20,000 on a television, but complaining about replacing his 2012 laptop. That laptop has been with me everywhere. I have DJ'd on the top of the mountain when it was, summertime, when it was snowing. Like, that thing's been through hell, and 5 years of karaoke nights. Like, that thing was awesome.
You want to hear? Yeah, keep going. Sorry.
The one thing that I'm really pissed off about is I use iTunes, which, if you guys don't know, Apple got rid of it. And that laptop has been on 10.12 just because of iTunes. And that's where I import all my music from. I make all my playlists, and then the DJ software reads all the playlists and information from iTunes. So it's like the master situation. So now I got to figure out a new situation for all this DJ
iTunes
stuff.
What is that? Something to do with Napster? What is that?
Oh man, I know. It was like LimeWire or something.
It's like FrostWire. What is it?
Bear
like Winamp.
Bear share.
Morpheus.
I remember that. Oh my gosh.
Oh man.
Oh man. I'll tell you something funny I was gonna say about the whole MacBook. So you got a new MacBook Pro?
Yeah, new M1 13-inch. That's gonna be my new like music thing. Yeah.
So I got the M1. So recently I got the Mac Mini. Fix it up, eGPU and all that. And then M1 came out, and I saw all the specs. I'm like, all the benchmarks. I'm like, damn. So I got one, and then I also got the wife, little MacBook Air, M1 also. And I didn't want to tell Chana because I knew he'd want to get, he'd want to get. I'm like, and then one day I'm just like, hey, bro, I didn't want to tell you, but I just got this thing. You know what I mean? And I knew. Right. Remember, I told you, like, if I tell you, I think you're just gonna get one.
Yeah.
Right. And you're like,
I wouldn't have gotten it if my laptop still stayed alive. I even swapped out batteries in that thing and tried it out and see, but now it's not doing anything.
He calls me the other day, right? Like, what is that? Yesterday?
Yeah.
In the morning, he's like, "Hey, man, I just looking at these
morning.
Apple."
It was like 11.
Oh, okay.
I don't know what time.
That's morning for me. He's like,
I haven't gone to bed yet.
Hey, I'm looking at these. These MacBook laptop, these MacBooks, and
they're pretty cheap.
They're cheap AF, right?
Yeah,
he's
dude.
like, you're the only one who would say that those are super cheap.
Well, I mean,
they're not
like,
super cheap.
Well, I went and optioned out a 16-inch laptop, the Intel one that they have there. I'm like, $4,000. I'm like, wow, screw that noise. And then I went and got the most expensive one of those M1s. I'm like, oh, $2,000? Okay. That's a little bit easier, but I mean, think about it. I had that laptop for 9 years, and I made a bunch of money off of it. So it's more of an investment than anything else.
Oh, for sure.
You definitely deserve it.
Treat yourself.
Definitely, you deserve it. Good choice. Good choice.
Treat yourself.
Hey, so what's the M1 like? Is it like souped up or something? It's their
new like chip, dude. It's got all kinds of crazy stuff going on in there.
Okay.
Man. And they have a whole range. Yeah, they have a whole range of new laptops coming out, with more ports. Right now, the only one, it only has 2 ports, so you're gonna have to use a hub and this, that, and the other. And
Aaron, let me just say this: so like that little MacBook Air, even like if you don't spec it out, I would recommend the 16 gigabyte RAM version. But you could edit all your videos on that thing.
Really?
Like no problem. Like H.265, which is like very hard to edit. Mm-hmm. No problem. It's just like, so I had an external GPU, and the graphics card on there was like $400 just for the GPU, right? Just for the graphics card,
right?
In order to edit my videos. And so this little thing, it does it with the chip on there. It's kind of crazy.
Yeah.
So
I think the only thing, because my brother told me I needed to get one of those and get off this desktop, but I mean, all my Clipple software is on here. So when I go through all my videos, I bring up the Clipple software. I talk about the data from that. I also run MATLAB from it. So I don't see me getting in. We do have a Mac. We bought it in 2010. It's an iMac 27-inch. And man, that thing is still kicking. I've had her upgrade the hard drive and added some RAM, but that's it. And it's still kicking. I'm just impressed.
Yeah. That's the cool thing about them. Is like, they work. They work and they work well. I like all their stuff. What's Optimus say? Party at Youth, man.
There you go, man.
I'm coming, man. Let me know when it's finished because we'll be down to Disney at some point this year.
Yeah, definitely. Come see
I'll
me, man.
swing by and come hang out.
Absolutely. You're more than welcome to.
After, okay.
Give
yeah,
you
man.
experience of 418s and
And I've been getting into something kind of random since we're off topic anyway. We're talking about computers and stuff like that. You want to know something I've been getting into? Other weird things. Here's to add to the weirdness. You know what I've been getting oddly into like the past few days? I told you guys.
Yeah.
Random. Anybody out there who's into this, I have no idea why this is so addictive, but like fountain pens. Like what would I care about fountain pens for? But I got this like Lamy aluminum one, and then I got this one. You know, they just look awesome. Like you buy these inks and stuff for them. It's like a weird hobby, right? And I don't know. It's very, very strange. You know, I just wanted to get one, and then now next thing you know, I have like.
It's a sickness.
Yeah, it's crazy. I think I'll stop.
Rabbit hole of ink.
I'll probably stop when my notes look like Da Vinci's notes. You know what I mean? That's what I'm hoping. If I just keep buying pens, eventually I'll have the same ideas as Da Vinci.
That makes sense.
And you know, that's it. That's his secret is the pens, right? That's
There was a Seinfeld episode where they had the space pen, so you're not too far from that.
Is that yeah. Fountain pens. How random is that? But yeah, those pens are addicting. You'll never stop. He said, it's true. I should have never started. Anyway.
Not a lot of got a question here. Anything on Anthem's new processors that just been released? Not a lot of information out there. I know Barrett from Specatech just bought the what do you get? The AVM 70.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so he's got that. So check out his channel. He's got a review on that. I'm supposed to get one in probably in the next. I'm thinking of next month. They told me to reach out to him next week because they don't have any, in stock basically. So. So not a whole lot of information out there. So, but I'm sure probably over the next month we should have more information coming on those and how they're doing. I know he had some issues with it, and so we'll see.
Anthem. These people are laughing. They're like, "Oh man, we got to stop with this quarantine. You're getting in the fountain pens now."
Yeah, seriously. But I know the Anthem MRX 1140. That's what I'm on the waiting list for through Anthem. Mm-hmm. So they've delivered a bunch to their dealers. So they're waiting for their review units to be done to send out to people like myself. But that's the one I'm interested in because I just thought about it too. I was like, wait, this is a 16 channel AVR. Mm-hmm. So I can have the 11 channels in here. And if Simon sends me 4 more, I can set up 3 high channels in here and front wides. Like that would be cool. That would be cool. That would be cool. I've never experienced that. And this is not a huge room. So it'll be interesting.
John is in like an 8x8 and he's got 38 speakers.
DTSX Pro, where 17, you at?
17 subwoofers, man. It's crazy.
I've got 3 10-inch subwoofers. I'm looking at the boxes here, and then I realize I have 2 10-inch subwoofers from Rel in the mudroom, so I could do like 5 subwoofers in this room somewhere.
Hey, Chana, you told me about a good movie for Atmos, right?
Oh yeah, so you guys were all talking. So I did this review video since Joe kept bugging me about it. About moving from 2 high channels to 4 high channels. I did that I posted a video about that 2.5 years ago. Never did a review on it, which also reminds me, I have a few other items I need to review, like a big power amp and stuff like that. I'm like, well, it's awesome. It's expensive. If somebody like breaks into your house, you can definitely kill them with the amp. Yeah. Like that's if you can lift it, anyway, so I started, and since I got the Zapedi finally, I ripped 150 movies that I just bought, and then and some that I already had, and so I put it up there, and I was just going through movies. I'm like, hey, let's turn off the power amp and just listen to Atmos. Man, 300, they just redid it. That is awesome. The Atmos in that is awesome. So I'm literally just listening to the 4 high channels and the 2 subwoofers. So that's it. right? So you're getting a lot of cool stuff out of that. So then people kept on saying, check out Midway. I bought it to rip it for the Zapiti. Never watched it. So I'm watching it and I'm like, fuck, man, I don't know what any of these people are saying, right? Because my center channel's off, like all the other channels are off. And I'm just like, I'm like, oh, that was dope. Okay. So yeah, any of the air scenes and it's when you're on the ground and then the planes come in and you hear the pew 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 from the guns and stuff, and then it flies over, and then when you're actually following the aircraft, then you got nothing. And then sometimes when they're talking on the battleship, you get these little creaks and like little atmospheric stuff going on over there. And yes, the F-bomb dropped, Kanga. Midway is pretty fantastic. And it was kind of funny. So like my wife was like, what are we doing? She's like, why can't we hear them talking? I'm like, oh, I turned all that off so that we can watch all this stuff. And she's like, well, why? And then so I played her Bumblebee, where I know there's nothing coming from the Atmos other than the score. And she's like, hey, there's all kinds of stuff happening. I'm like, yeah. And what's happening up there? She's like, oh, this is disappointing. I was like, yes.
So not all Atmos discs are created equal.
That's a completely normal thing to do, by the way, Chana, is just to turn off all the ear level speakers and that's completely normal.
I've done it myself. I was curious. I wanted to hear like what actually comes out of there. Because honestly, when you've got 11 speakers going at one time, it is hard to tell like where's the sound exactly coming from. Is it coming from my Atmos, or is that blended from Atmos and your rear surrounds, or so that's definitely one way that you can just kind of isolate and go, okay, it's definitely coming out of the
I think
Atmos
there was a question from BL. Where do I cross over? I cross them over at 100 because they're standard bookshelf speakers. So, I mean, if you were to hang your La Scalas up there, or if you hang some really badass speakers up there, you probably
actually the La Scalas, they don't go down very low.
They probably go about as low as these SVS Prime Elevation, right?
That's what I'm talking about. Those are the ones I have.
How 70? Yeah, these are about 80 actually.
Yeah, so I'm crossing those
around there.
I had them at
play lower than that,
before, and then I bumped them down to because every time I run Odyssey's putting them at 80.
Yeah.
So I was just like, let's lift it up a little bit since they cross over around 80 as well. So.
Hey, Aaron, how many height speakers you got? Atmos set up at your pad or what? No,
man, I'm lazy. I stopped at 5.2 or whatever it is. Yeah, my receiver don't even think. Yeah, my receiver doesn't even have Atmos in it. Doesn't support Atmos.
Any urge for Atmos?
Not really. No, because honestly, so much else is going on with trying to measure and test speakers that I just don't have the time. We hardly even use the theater room upstairs much, other than if my kid wants to watch something different than what we're watching, or the big game, because you can't say what the big game is actually called, right? Otherwise we have to pay the NFL money.
Oh, is that right? Yeah.
I ain't worried about them.
Yeah, no, I'm just kidding. So, well, actually, I think that is true. I'm just kidding about saying it here. No, like Super Bowl, college game, stuff like that we'll watch. But honestly, man, I thought about redoing, because I've got that false wall. And I thought about redoing that room, and I wired it up for height speakers and all sorts of crap. But it's just, I don't want to spend the money on that. I've got other things I'd rather play with right now.
Yeah.
My dream is to make enough money one day to where I can build a detached garage, and I can put the clipple in there, so it's not limited by height or anything. And then in the front of it, I can have like a whole, whole
setup stage.
Yeah, that'd be sweet. Sick. Yeah.
It's just interesting because a lot of the stuff that you do and a lot of stuff we talk about still applies to Atmos, right?
Oh yeah.
So where I position these, should I be above the tweeter? Is that a good spot? Right. I was doing some of these measurements and I'm like, oh, it's not good. You don't want to be up there. You want to be below it because it has this weird dip. So all that stuff still applies, just with more speakers.
I mean, ideally, I would expect that you would want a speaker that plays the desired range as neutral as possible. Mm-hmm. I mean, that's ultimately what you're trying to get.
BL Swagger said he had to cross his high channels over at 130. So,
I just wonder, like Odyssey, when it recommends I guess I should have asked that dude that question because I just now thought of it. You mentioned it recommended 80, so you bumped it up to 100. And I'm like, how does it determine? Is it based on the natural fall off? Or does it have some kind of like THD, pickup where it says?
I mean, I would imagine it's sending out the white noise or pink noise, right? And then it's seeing where it rolls off, and then tries to give it a what?
I know it. Actually, no. It's the in-room roll-off, right? In the listening position. So it's not trying to guess what the anechoic. It's not trying to guess anything. It's just if it can play 50 hertz at this level, right, at minus 3 decibels, or I don't know if it's 3 or 6 for them, but then it assumes that it can play that note.
Then it can play it cleanly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't know if they're doing that. I don't know if they're taking into account distortion.
You know why? That's why I'm asking is because I mean, naturally, if there's going to be room gain, then it's going to help clean up. It's going to give you a little bit more boom, I guess, in the lower frequencies, and so you're not going to have any you're not going to have increased distortion from the room itself, other than just linear like frequency response distortion. But nonlinear distortion, like second order harmonics and stuff like that, you're not going to have any of that from the room gain.
Yeah, I don't know if they're taking that into account. So I think if it can hear it, then that's good enough. I think that's how it's kind of
what you're saying. That makes sense. I've just been curious, how they determine that. So, but that makes sense.
I think that's all they can really do, right?
Yeah, that is, and it makes sense.
Could they get a harmonic distortion doing like some sweeps, multiple sweeps?
They could.
In the listening position, though? Would that be...
Yeah, it would not be anechoic. It would be in the listening position, right?
Would those results be somewhat useful, though, if you're that far away from a speaker?
I don't know. Probably not. Yeah, I don't. It's hard to say, I guess. But the thing is, they're not doing it over different volumes, are they? Because I don't.
No, it's a reference level.
Yeah, because if you just pick one level, that doesn't tell you a lot, other than this is too high. But if it's low and then you bump it up 3 dB, and all of a sudden you're driving into some issues.
Yeah,
but they're not doing that because they're not doing different volumes. But
no compression testing, nothing like that. It's just
they just saying basic. What the response is in the room, and they're saying, "All right, this will work," and they just go with it. Sounds like
something like that.
Yeah, that's fine. I was just curious. I mean, nothing else does anything like that. I was just curious.
Yeah,
got a home theater question here. So Exo Gun Club says, how important is it to have a designated circuit for your home theater?
Depends on who you ask, right?
I have one in mind. I have a dedicated 20.
Yeah.
The biggest reason is because of the ground loop issue. So when I first moved in, I had subwoofers, and I just always had just about everything I hooked up. I'd always get this just low hum, and man, I couldn't figure it out. I tried cheater plugs. Sometimes it'd work, sometimes it wouldn't. And so when we redesigned the room, is like, look, we're gonna run a dedicated 20. And that way, all of the equipment is completely separated from, the other components in the room, like your lighting and things. So that definitely is a benefit. I mean, do you have to do that? No. I mean, there's a lot of people that don't do that. I think it's a good idea, though. And, different people will recommend, some people say, oh, you need a dedicated 20 for those monster subs. I'm running a dedicated 20 with all of my gear. Yeah. And I've never had any issues with it. Never tripped a breaker.
When we built this house, we ran 2 dedicated 20s for the upstairs because I thought if one day I ever, get crazy and buy Macintosh stuff that would need it, then I'll be prepared for it. But what's funny about that is I wound up plugging in my projector into a plug in the room itself, which is on its own, or not its own, but another 15 amp circuit that ties in with the lights. So as soon as I did that, it was and I was like, son of a. So I went out and bought, I think it's the Hum X, and I want to say it was like $20 or $30 maybe off of Amazon. And that product, I didn't expect it would, but that product actually killed that buzz, like
nice,
no problem at all, and it was dirt cheap, relatively speaking. So, but the reason I say it depends on who you ask is some of those guys will say, yeah, man, you've got to have dedicated run, and you have to go to the power plant itself to make sure you won't get any noise in the line. Like some people go crazy with that stuff.
Sure.
And sounds like you and I probably did it more from the perspective of trying to keep noise low, especially with subwoofers. And also, I just wanted to make sure I had plenty of power on tap in case I ever went crazy.
Yep. Well, part of that, when I had dual subwoofers, every time the bass would hit, my lights would dim.
Yeah.
Kind of like in car audio when you don't have like a, what do they call it?
Your
Capacitor?
alternator.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, capacitor.
Or an extra alternator or whatever. So,
Battery. Yeah,
Yep.
all that stuff.
yeah, so I was getting
Yeah,
that
your
issue
car slows
too.
down when you hit a bass note. Like, oh, no, that's not right.
Yeah, so that was part of why I did it. So I don't think you have to have that, but I think it's a good idea if you can do it. It's just definitely a cost factor, to have an electrician run that. Or if you got a buddy that does it for free, then
Yep, that helps too. That
it's a little
definitely
bit
helps.
cheaper.
Yeah.
So looking at some other questions here.
I left another link to our Patreon for anybody who wants to join the after show. So it's a subscription thing, but you don't have to like stay on there. You could, go in and then pop out. You don't have to do it every month if you don't want to, but of course it's appreciated. It allows us to do all this stuff that we're doing every Monday.
Which I can say I'm not part of the Daily HiFi, but I can say that what they're doing definitely costs money. So if you guys appreciate what they're doing, I would throw some money their way. It helps them out. Even
you.
$5 can go a long way per month. I mean, just adds up toward lunch.
Yeah.
Taco Bell lunch, but I mean, it's something, right?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's just also time. It just takes up time, That's
Well, and
all.
I think to me, I mean, like when I get the contributions for the Clipple and stuff, like to me, it's not even so much the money. It's nice knowing that people support what
People-
you're doing.
They
and
believe in
helping
what
out.
you're doing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Doing
No,
it.
totally.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've had guys, I mean, they actually contribute very substantially to my patron. And I'm like, hey, here's your, because I offer different rewards for different tiers. And they're like,
Yeah.
man, I don't even care about that. I believe in what you're doing. And like you said, that just means the world to us, to know that we've got people that are like, man, we believe in what you're doing and you're doing a great job. So
Yeah.
definitely
Yeah.
grateful for you guys.
Yeah. Let's see. Any other questions before we hop out? Because we're going to have to pop into that chat in about 3 minutes or so. So,
3 minutes.
any other
minutos. Oh,
questions
Randall
we have?
got a new car. Congratulations, Randall.
Nice.
He says the B&O sound system there is pretty great. He got a
I've heard
21 Audi A4. Him.
Nice.
I've actually, so some of my like competitive car audio friends, one of them who built my stereo in my car, just freaking genius installer and great tuner, said that the B&O system in his Audi was really, really good.
Yeah. The one in mine is awesome, dude. It's 23 speakers, 1900 watts. Ridiculous. Got the tweeters that lift up from the dash. It's pretty awesome.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy. They got that Sausalito waveguide thing with fires up and out all sorts of different directions. Yeah.
Hey,
Though, what I really want to do, I want to listen to their Bayo Lab 90, their home speaker, because somebody asked me like, what one speaker, if you could afford it, would you buy? And I'm not saying,
Oh,
I would
yeah.
buy it, but I would
I heard
love to
those.
hear that.
My uncle's got those, man.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
I'm coming out to Cali.
That's right.
you do, when all this clears up, I
Cali.
do want you to come by.
Cali.
We'll
Cali,
hang
for
out.
sure,
We'll have
dude.
a good time. Hey, have you, quick car audio thing, have you heard the system in the Volvo XC like 60s? I think they have Dirac in there, and they have, what is it? I think it's Bowers and Wilkins system. It's like a couple G's like add-on.
I have
Like
not.
3, 4,
no.
5 G's, but it's using like some crazy Dirac stuff where they're like canceling out. They're doing all kinds of crazy stuff.
I've seen their tech on their website, on the Dirac website. They actually, market that and all that. And I've seen it, and I'm like, man, I would love to be able to have that in my car. Like, what are they? Because that's the same thing. Like when Bose, started doing stuff for car audio. I mean, Bose gets a lot of flack, but some of their engineering is incredible.
Mhm.
And Dirac is the same way, man. It's just some next level stuff. I would love to hear it.
Yeah, I've heard it, but only like briefly, so I couldn't say. You know who has that? I think Andrew Jones has a. I think I saw he had a XC something, but kind of curious to see what he thinks
Yeah.
of that. What else?
Got one more question here before we wrap it up. Where was it? So about the podcast on Chad. So the reason why we haven't done that, honestly, is just time right now. It just takes a lot of time for us to take the,
Download it, edit
yeah,
it,
we
cut
even
it
still
up.
call this a
like,
podcast. Yeah, but we take that and chop it up into bits, and it's a process, man. And so we were all splitting the kind of
Yeah.
the.
And this
the
is why,
workload on
like,
that.
this is why my laptop dying is crucial, because I actually have 2 laptops. So I'm multitasking. I'm editing my actual video, and then I'm editing the Daily HiFi podcast on this other one. Yeah. So I just got 2 things going on. Now I'm just cut in half. It's like my leg got cut off. I can't run. I can hobble.
Hobble. Well, the truth is, we're really, once we get this Patreon thing going, that helps fund some of that. And so we'll be able to get somebody. The other thing is, we're hoping to get somebody who already like knows how to do a lot of stuff, because it does also take time to train somebody. Right. Like if somebody's like, all right, it'd be easier if somebody already like, okay, that's what I do. Right. No problem. I got you guys. Right. So
upload the video.
Takes time to edit my cursor.
A lot of bleeds on there.
Yep. Big old E at the end of the title.
Yeah. Explicit. Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember when the stickers came out, man. It was so annoying, because like I'm trying to convince my mom to like buy me this Guns N' Roses album, and she's like, well, this says explicit. What does this mean? What are they saying? I'm like, I don't know, Mom. Just buy the damn thing.
I just want the new Bone Thug CD.
Yeah, right.
Two Live Crew.
Oh man.
Oh no.
That's where it started, man.
I haven't heard that name in a long time.
That's right. That's why it's the whole thing started. Yep.
Yeah. I've got a bad story on
band in the USA. Mm-hmm. Yeah, Michael, you're probably not too far from those. What those, like Tampa or Miami, something like that?
Yeah, I grew up with that.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, that was I listened to quite a bit of that when I was a teenager. You did. Short story, I thought my dad was gone, had it cranking, and it was saying some pretty raunchy stuff. And
oh wow,
we had a really, really, really small house. So, and then when I looked out the window, and I went, oh my gosh, my dad is still here. And I mean, my bedroom's like right there next to him, and it's like, it was the hey, we want some pee. I was like, oh my god, it was horrible.
Hey, this is a great idea from Randall. Michael is like to edit out whenever you say fudge, fiddlesticks, or dag nabbit. It'll make it sound worse, right?
Right.
Just like bleep it out no matter what.
Oh mercy.
Ah, fiddlesticks.
Every time I talk about
fudge.
the rack.
Oh man, yeah, we're up. Our time's up. We got to hop into the other video, but
appreciate you guys, Chana.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you guys so much for hanging out. This is the Daily HiFi Podcast. We do this every Monday, 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, and usually we have a guest. Today, this is Aaron. Sometimes we don't, and sometimes we take phone calls to answer your questions. We got a few questions this time around. So make sure you subscribe to the Daily HiFi YouTube channel and hit that bell so you know when we do go live, but we're pretty much live every Monday, 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Anyway, for those of you that are joining us, our patrons on Patreon, we'll see you in the after show. Those of you not, see you next week.
Peace. See ya.
Have a good one.
Bye.